Cyberware, the most talked about aspect of Cyberpunk 2077, and here on the channel my favourite thing to talk about is customization. I've done a number of different videos and you guys have been very much enjoying them, so it is now time to go through the cyberware and everything that you can do with customizing your cyberware. This goes all the way back to information that we did know at the beginning when Cyberpunk was first announced, when we did start to get some gameplay trailers and we did see the cyberware in action when you were able to buy it with the 48-minute gameplay, going all the way to the point of which we are at now, where new information has been revealed with the official trailer. But before I do get into all of the customization options that you could do with cyberware, if you do want to see me playing this game live or just want to talk a bit more in depth about Cyberpunk, then there is a link in the description down below which will take you over to the Twitch stream. Head over to there, drop a follow, and you'll be notified the second these Cyberpunk streams start going live. I am looking to go for daily streams throughout the whole of December, and once we do get back into the video and I do start talking about all the different cyberware options, what might be very interesting is seeing what you're able to come up with and then also comparing it to what I'm able to come up with, because there's going to be a lot of different variation. Getting back into the video, we've talked about cyberware and weapon customization before, but what we talked about back then is not quite the same as what we're talking about now, because we have had more information. So cyberware is the center of Cyberpunk 2077. It is the biggest selling point because of everything you can do with your character's body, and how it would also change your playstyle, but with that said, there is also some limitations. V's body is actually broken up into a number of different slots for each different body part, and these slots are where cyberware will be applied. We have been given this image through the official trailer which shows different slots for each different body part. So we have the operating system which has one slot, we have the skeleton which has two slots, we have the hands which have one slot, the arms have one slot, the legs have one slot, the frontal cortex have 3 slots, the ocular system has 1 slot, the circulatory system has 3 slots, the immune system has 2 slots, the nervous system has 2 slots, and the integumentary system has 3 slots. And I know instantly I'm probably not going to go and add anything into integumentary because every time I say it, I just really struggle. But if you were to add each and every body part up, there is a total of 20 slots where you can apply cyberware modifications. Now we're not actually sure whether or not these are the set 20 slots that you have to do no matter what. We have seen before with Cyberpunk that there's a lot of different ways in which you get to choose your path, whether it go from branching dialogue to multiple endings to customizing. So we don't know whether or not these 20 slot systems for the body parts that they're labeled on, whether or not they stay the same and you can't change them, or whether or not you can go to a different operating system and that will lean more to one side than the other with body modifications. For example, if there is an operating system that you have which will give you an extra 2 slots on your hands, but will take 1 slot away from the frontal cortex and also 1 slot away from the immune system. This is stuff that we don't know. Despite CD Projekt Red talking about slots for your character customization when it comes to cyberware, and on top of that we've also had different news reporters even talk about these slots, we've never actually seen a physical copy of this. We've never seen an image or we've never seen a video up until now. And because of this, we're not actually able to compare this to previous images that we've had before, to say that there's a difference with the amount of slots that you can have within each and every body part. So with this one, we just need to wait and see with the release date of Cyberpunk. And luckily, we don't have to wait too long for that. Despite there being slots for each body part, it should be also pointed out that not every single cyberware modification that you have will only be 1 slot. With what we're seeing, it does look like everything that's here on this image is actually 1 slot, but it has been said that different bits of cyberware, depending how good it is, will take up more slots for that body part. So that does mean that there is a total of 20 slots, but it doesn't mean that you will have 20 different modifications. Depends what you select and how many slots it takes up. I would imagine that the higher end, more powerful cyberware will take up more slots compared to the lower end, less powerful cyberware that you get at the beginning. We have seen cyberware such as the Mantis Blades, Gorilla Arms, the Monowire, projectile launch system. All of this has been shown in gameplay as well as trailers before, and all of these are applied to the arm. But by going off the trailer image of the cyberware slots and the arm, there is only 1 slot. So unless there is an increased slot option, I imagine these all require 1 slot. But just by going off this one image here, and I know we have been talking about it for a while, but there is a lot here. There's a lot of different variation with everything that you can do. And what's crazy is this is just how you add cyberware to your body. It doesn't include all the different cyberware options that you will be able to have with the game. So I am looking very much forward to that. The cyberware that you apply to your character is made up of offensive and defensive cyberware, so you can decide what playstyle you want to go for based on the type of cyberware that you add to your character. Not to mention that these cyberware options broken down to offensive and defensive can also be broken down into close range as well as long range. This is where you get to adapt to your playstyle. If we were to look at offensive cyberware, for example, we have the projectile launch system, which will be long range, whereas the mantis blades will be close range. So if you know you want a piece of cyberware that is applied to the arms, and you know you want to be rocking an offensive playstyle, you're not limited based on whether or not you want to be close range or even long range. You can still choose between this within the offensive cyberware, allowing you to have the freedom to play to your playstyle. But defensive cyberware hasn't been shown as much as offensive. CD Projekt Red loves showing off the mantis blades and the gorilla arms, and fans have also been loving seeing this cyberware in action. And this is just because most fans are dying to get this cyberware and add it to their character V. But we do know that you can get defensive cyberware implants that will make you immune to certain elements or even certain enemies. We do know when we look at the lore of Cyberpunk back when the 4th corporate war was happening between 2021 and 2023, a small yield nuclear device was detonated in Arasaka Tower, completely destroying the tower and also parts of Night City. Huge amounts of radiation was released in the area, but a lot of people were unaffected due to having anti-radiation implants. It's fair to say if these implants were available back then, well, it's fair to say that those implants are available now. And CD Projekt Red have confirmed that you will be able to have implants and you will be able to apply them to your character. So even though defensive cyberware isn't shown as much within the trailers, just because that offensive cyberware really gets players' attentions and it definitely sells the game, there will be a lot of different options for going defensive as well. There is also cyberware that fits somewhere in between offensive and defensive. They don't really help you on the attack and they don't really help you on the defense. It just benefits you feature-wise. This is cyberware such as the Kuroshi Optical Scanner Mark 1 and the Kuroshi Optical Scanner Mark 2. This is what was shown back in the 48-minute gameplay video back in 2018. And even though that is just a list of 2, there will be a lot more like this. The Kuroshi Optical Scanner will allow you to scan objects to gather basic information and progress the quest. Upgrading this to Mark 2 will identify structural weak points with machines and vehicles. And even though it does give you a benefit to be offensive, it's not actually necessarily offensive cyberware. It just comes down to how you use it. These are still useful upgrades to have, but don't necessarily give you a benefit to attack or defend. It just helps you feature-wise. And there's also a lot of other cyberware out there like that. It could help you understand other languages, or maybe it can give you the ability to zoom in to see closer while still maintaining a safe distance. And all of this is entirely up to you whether or not you add it to your character. To add all of these different types of cyberware, no matter what it is, you would need to go and visit a Ripper dock. There'll be a number of different Ripper docks located all over Night City, each of them specializing in different areas and can offer different cyberware to add to your character. It is said that many of these Ripper docks operate legally, but some conduct illicit deals such as installing military-grade cybernetics for the right price. The Ripper docks will also link into your street cred, which I have already done a video on before. This talks about the progression system with Cyberpunk and how you do get XP to rank up and where that goes, but also how you get street cred. Street cred is your reputation within Night City, and if you have a low street cred, some vendors will refuse to sell to you. So by getting that street cred up, that unlocks more vendors within Night City, and that will also unlock more equipment and more cyberware for you to buy into at a much higher level. And this cyberware can give you different types of features that you wouldn't be able to use before, or it could just give you a completely different style, a better style on the cyberware that you already had, if you are someone that does want to buy into the aesthetics rather than just buying into the functionality. These items can also be a lot more expensive because cyberware is broken down into different rarities such as common, unusual, rare, epic, and legendary. And as you keep on going up in the different rarities, so does the price. But as Cyberpunk 2077 is all about choice, it is entirely up to you what you go for. This is just a quick overview of the cyberware customization within Cyberpunk 2077. And we haven't even done an in-depth look at all the different cyberware options, including implant options. This is more of how you would apply it, how you're limited in a way, the different types of rarities, and how the cyberware is broken down into different categories. When Cyberpunk is released and we do have access to all the different cyberware that is available, I will be putting a video together going through absolutely everything. And a good thing about this is now we don't have to wait too long, as Cyberpunk 2077 will be releasing this week. If you do want to see me trying out all the different types of cyberware live, then there is a link in the description down below which will take you over to the Twitch channel. Head over to there, drop a follow, and you'll be notified the second these Cyberpunk streams start going live. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going, so see ya.